Today we finish up Season 1 and prepare our park for the off-season. I'm Mostly Average Matt, and this is Planet Coaster Harder Mode. Hello and happy Friday, and welcome back to our challenge park. And yeah, we are finally here. We are at the end of Season 1. We are finishing up the last portion of Bubbles Playground, the Swift Drifter ride, and it went through a few different styles and types and things like that. I wanted it to be very open. I wanted it to have a kind of like a retro feel, and or vintage feel, if you will. And I think I did accomplish that pretty well without even using any of the vintage pieces. Maybe I used one or two, but I also wanted to stay within the realm of what some of the other attractions are, specifically Bubble Shot, because that's the one that's right next to it. So it does copy some of the fencing from Bubble Shot, but overall, I think it's a pretty plain build. It's just a square. It's just got a normal roof on it. It does have a lot of detail and scaffolding inside, or supporting structure inside, but it was something that needed to be done. We needed another attraction in this area of the park, so I think it fits the role very well, and is really a great family ride for everyone that's going to be in Bubbles Playground anyway. So while we're doing this, because this is going to go on for a while, I messed around a lot with everything here. So there's a lot of different things that I tried. I tried to make it easy on myself. Sometimes I made it hard. But while we're doing that, so there is no true live portion in the video today. There was going to be, but unfortunately, with me trying a bunch of different things with my recording settings, I completely screwed it up. So, we will not be walking around the park without guests today. That'll be in the Season 2, Episode 1, which I guess will be Season 20, or Season 2, or it'll be this. It's not going to change the series. It's still going to be the same series. It's going to be Episode 21, but it's going to be the start of Season 2, just to make it confusing, because I can't even keep track of it. So, why not? But so we will do that in the next episode, and it does kind of work out better, because when I was trying to get through it, I really wanted to start setting the price, which means I wanted to open it. So we'll get that opportunity in the next one. We didn't do anything to our park management anyway, so I think it'll be just fine doing it in the next episode. But we do a small walkthrough in real time in this one. Just it doesn't have any sound with it, because I did have it coming through Shadow Play, which the sound does not pick up very well. It gets very choppy. But yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of scaffolding in this. There's a lot of supporting structure, and I did this whole crazy thing. And of course, the Swift Drifters is not a perfect square on the grid, or a rectangle, or whatever you want to call it. So I had to make a lot of modifications to it in the middle. We got these cool little fence things on the outside that fortunately I was able just to squeeze in without any issues. Just modifying where some of the bigger beams are, and it all seemed to work out just perfectly. We readjusted our entrance slightly just so it would line up a little bit better. We do come back to that here in a little bit. The one thing we don't have on that side, we don't have a railing, because there isn't one small enough in-game. So it's also tucked away and hidden behind everything, so we're just gonna pretend it's there and not see it. We're not gonna look at it that often. So, and honestly, I didn't really even notice it until I'm watching the playback right now. So, We did get some center beams into the middle, but I was really struggling with the roof in this. I didn't know. The more as I put it on, the more I was like, man, all the interesting stuff you don't even see. So trying to find a way to make it a little bit more interesting. One of the ways is elevating this upper portion of the roof, which was a plan right from the beginning. And then once I finally get this all sorted out, which does take me a little bit because I, for whatever reason, could not get this in my head how to do it, we add a center beam that goes across that kind of holds more of like the half circle fencing that you see down in the bottom around the outside of the ride. So here we go, putting in our beam. At first I was like, it kind of looks a little funny, but it really doesn't once I put the top pieces on, which I'm working on currently. So it unfortunately did not stretch. It was a little bit too large to go the short way there, so we just ignore that and move on. But overall, again, it does the job. We do add the name of the attraction on it, and that is called the Whirlpool. Pretty generic name. I failed at coming up with something, so that's what it is. If you guys think of anything, please make sure to leave it in the comment section. We will most likely be changing the name of it, so I am definitely interested in hearing whatever you guys have to say. Some other things we do in this video, so we prepared the park to be put on the Steam Workshop, and one of the ways that we had to do that is we created the border for the park itself. So we do put a chain link fence on the outside where it is the absolute outside of the park. You can't extend otherwise. One of the reasons because it's the edge of the map. And then we have a wooden fence that we bring around that is to signify the area that hasn't been constructed in yet or is still under construction. So that takes quite a bit of time to get through. And oh, actually, here's a pretty interesting part. I was trying to look for something to break up the top, and we add the beams in, because one of the best beams in the game. We add a little fence to the top of it. We tilt it sideways a little bit, and then add the little string linings. I also failed to realize that there is actually a larger string light rather than the one length ones. So here I am realizing it and putting them in, and then we do still copy and paste all of them around so it covers the entire length of the building. We also have a string light on the bottom, which makes it a little bit, it just kind of breaks up everything, gives it a little bit more light. And then my favorite thing to do, the custom fencing. This, fortunately, I made this queue line very, very simple. It's pretty much all straights, and then we got this one curve that goes off to the pathway, and had no issues making this one whatsoever. This one took me maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than that, but really not too long. It did get split up because I did have to step away, so I don't really know how long it took me, but they are annoying to make, but they certainly look much, much better than the regular in-game fencing. And I do need to come up with another style of fence. I ripped that off, I want to say Masked Bandit or someone in part of his series, one of his series. But it certainly does look really, really good. We also jump in and do some lighting. you get to, I think there's a point where you'll probably see it for a second. We actually zoom out and take a look at the entire park all lit up, and it looks pretty awesome. This is probably the most complete park I've ever built in Planet Coaster to date. And obviously we still have a lot of work that needs to be done, so I'm really excited. It really kind of put it in perspective for me. It's like, yeah, we are getting something done. The only thing is there's a lot of frame rate issues. So while we're on that topic, I just want to thank every one of you that it's taking the time out of your day to watch the content that I'm putting out. I know there are a lot of frame rate issues. I know it's very choppy and very annoying in some parts of the videos, especially some of the live portions as of late. I am trying to find a solution that's going to work, that's going to give both great frame rate and good quality in terms of audio. So that seems to be the trade-off between OBS and shadow play. Shadow play will tend to get a little bit better in terms of frame rate, the quality of the video itself, but the audio becomes extremely choppy. It gets misaligned. You can use Handbrake to fix it, but one, that takes a long time to do, and then it also has a lot of chops and cuts and pops and all that in it as well. So I don't know exactly how to fix that, but the OBS then on the other side will get great audio, but the frame rate as the encoder goes through takes a hit, and it's sometimes unwatchable. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm messing around with a bunch of the settings, so again, thank you for your patience with it. I am glad. It does seem I am getting quite a few people to watch, and I really do appreciate you guys. And if you have any suggestions on how to fix it, please let me know, because it's certainly not working the right way for me. I'm also potentially looking into the Windows game recorder, but something just tells me that's not a good idea. So we'll take a look. At this point in the video, we are adding in our foliage around the park, and just tidying up some of the areas. I know at one point that little area in front of the bubble shot station, I said I was going to add a restaurant, or not restaurant, a shop stall, something along those lines. I did look into doing like a little crane game or something like that, but in terms of it being a challenge park, I just didn't think it would work there. We don't have enough foot traffic. Maybe in the future we'll come back over. We do have to address, now that we completed the other thing, there are some different areas that the paths just aren't covering. So we just start adding in some little planters and flowers and whatnot, and we have to tidy up the entire area around the Gulpy Speedway. So we mess around with the paths a lot. We get it down to as few things as we need to as possible. And then we get these nice little, just the regular in-game planners. And we try and keep them about the same. I mean, the distance between them is very different. But honestly, I don't think it looks too bad. We do add one large planner in the middle because we didn't have anything else. And you'll see that we add in more Gulpy signs, because why not? There's already a ton in there, might as well add a few more. But I think I was really concerned about that area. I wasn't sure how to bring that all together, and it turned out to be much simpler than I thought it was going to be. And now we're just starting to add in our little bits of foliage. We tried a few different flowers in there before we change the color, struggle with getting it into the correct building. Yep, changed half the colors. There we go, changed the rest. And we do change the bigger flowers in the middle to a more teal to match that sign. But my idea was, we don't want to put too many trees in here that we're completely obstructing everything, because there are going to be some sight lines that are going to be coming out of this turn walking path. So we did every other. We added a tree. I think we added 2 trees. And then we just added in some bushes and whatnot to fill it out. And, it looks okay there. And then we go into the crazy fencing. And I've never done this before in any of my parks, so I was really excited. I've always wanted to for some reason. But putting the fence around the entire park, we do have the wooden fence here that is to signifying that it's still under construction. We cut off some of the path with it. We try and get as much of the curb out of view as possible. It makes it easy when there is no curb. But overall, this didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was gonna. I think it maybe took me 15 to 20 minutes just to get it done. And that is solely because it just takes time to line up the pieces, and I'm pretty particular about a bunch of that stuff. So we also went all the way around. We did behind the kickflip, behind all the original attractions, and then the 2 attractions that we moved and never removed their scenery, we came in front of those to say, oh, this is a construction area. So we do loop back around. I shortly realized that this should be the fence, because we're not going to do any more construction on that. And now I'm changing in the wooden fence here at the back. So overall, I'm extremely happy with everything and the way it has turned out for season 1. We do look to get the park up on the Steam Workshop here by the weekend. It shouldn't be too long, because it is pretty much finished. We add in our trees, and oh yeah, here's our lighting. So we did use the generic in-game light. I just thought they look good enough to have in there. I didn't think I needed to create my own for any of the sections that were in here. And all the sections that I would have created my own already have lighting, because I already thought of that in there. So it's more or less the curbing over by the Gulpy Speedway. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now we're going to do a quick walkthrough. Not a live walkthrough, but a real-time walkthrough. And we'll see, the whirlpool in itself. So obviously you saw the intro shots where you can really see, you get a good look at those fences that we put in here. We now have trees on both sides in Bubbles Playground, but if you go down and walk through the line here, you got the coaster that just rips by that I missed. I thought to look well after it went through. So we got all the, oh god, I didn't mean to, oh my gosh, all over. I remember having issues with the camera, but you got all the support work inside for Whirlpool. you can come out and you see just continue down in front of Bubble Shot, and I think we find some trees that are floating in air, so we go ahead and fix those quick. And you know, I'm super happy with the entire area. I would love to be able to put some more. Probably need to put some bushes in the bottom there, but just to kind of hide it a little bit. Also, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to use those wooden fences along the back there so you can't see through it, but it's fine. It's whatever. It's not that important of a detail. So we do go up over and we do a quick run through of our pathway over by the Gulpy Speedway. We certainly fly around the back. There's really not that much to see, so and as you can tell, we do have the Planet Coaster soundtrack coming back in, signifying to me that we are near the end of our video here today. Like I said, there is no live portion, so I do apologize. But if you did like it and you liked this format of video, let me know. Leave a like, leave it in the comment section, and if you want to find some more awesome Planet Coaster content, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Mostly Average Matt. We got videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.